You know, people in real life are able, outside of social media, able to project an image of themselves that they can pass off to people as being genuine when it really isn't. There's nothing genuine about them. They're fake, they're fraudulent. That's why they have to cover their face in fake makeup and nails and hair just to hide who they are, that insecurity that is within them. And that's the thing. And you see that these people will come onto YouTube and act like what we're saying is something new. That the rhetoric that black men are speaking on is something new. It's new to them because they surround themselves with beta males. They surround themselves with beta males and they want to act like they don't know why they have not been in a productive relationship. It's because you're with weak men. Men who are going to tell you what you want to hear. Men who are not going to be honest with you, who are not going to hold you accountable. And that's what we have here. We have a group of females that are triggered by YouTube videos, when they could easily debunk what we're saying by not being the stereotype, but they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves but be the stereotype. But then they get mad at us when they expose themselves. Shout out to Edward Anderson. Says there are different degrees to resentment and contempt for black men. Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen them all. I've seen the women who will come to you like they're cool. Next thing you know, they flip. They flip. So Antoine, because they were never really genuine with you. It was all a facade. It was never really real. You see, it's a cold dose of reality when they have to get on social media and realize that there are actually intelligent men out there who speak their mind, because they're not used to that. Shout out to Rashad Jones. They're not used to that. They're used to being told lies. And what's interesting about that is that there's a number of these females, okay? Oh, they're very much unstable. There's a good amount of those females who claim that they have fathers in their life. They will claim that they were raised by a strong man. Appreciate that, Centel. Shout out to everybody in the chat room coming into the chat room. Appreciate that. They'll talk about how they had a father in their life, a strong black man. But their life does not show that, because they have children out of wedlock. Every relationship they've been in has been a failure. And you can tell by their behavior that they rejected the teachings of their father. They rebelled against everything they were taught by their fathers, until they got older and they had children and they realized in that moment that their father was right. And this is why you should never shelter your children, especially your daughters, because as soon as they get a moment of freedom, they're going to make up for all those years that they couldn't rebel, they couldn't date the dudes they want to date. And she's gonna end up making the mistakes that you'd hope that she didn't make. Now, I commend men who want to step up and be with a woman who does have children, but I would not endorse that, because you never know the type of woman that you're getting with. Shout out to Raiders 48. What's going on, Mika? here. And I've noticed how, here's what they fading fast. They fading a lot faster because that's why they're upset at us as content creators. Shout out to Mika. Anyway, that's why they're upset at us, because we put a mirror in their face, and that's a mirror they've never wanted to look in, because they know deep down inside they messed up. They know deep down inside they messed up. That is why you have to pay attention to what her actions more than her words, because a woman can tell you a million different things. They'll tell you about all the great qualities that they have. They'll tell you about how their father was in their life, and they had all these great men around them, but they get on social media and they have this hatred. They're talking about having all female spaces. I mean, come on, man. You don't want no all female space. I mean, you want men around. You want men around. Quit that bullshit. Shout out to Ben Allwell. Says feminists, black women are delusional. Black women, we do not welcome them in my cabal. They are very delusional, and they think that embracing feminism is going to help them be better women. No, what it's going to do is going to eat you up inside. It's going to ruin every relationship you get in, because no man wants to be told what to do. Now, there's some men out there who want to be the female in a relationship. They don't want to wear the pants. They want the female to make all the decisions and be the leader of the household. There are men like that. And y'all usually can see them when they're in public. You can tell. You can tell that the girlfriend or the wife runs that relationship. She tells him what to do. He gives his whole check to her, and she squanders half the money and half pays the bills. Okay, Nelson, appreciate that, bro. Salute to you. So let me just say this. If you're with a domineering woman, okay? If you're with a woman who's controlling, who talks down to your father, that's going to play negatively in your mind. But because the man stays in that marriage, you're going to see him as a good man. There's nothing good about taking verbal abuse from a woman. But a lot of men are very reluctant to walk away from marriages. Women are going to leave because women utilize marriages to get themselves up to a certain level or to a certain point to where they don't need you anymore. Because they may have been with you for the money. They may have been with you because nobody else at that particular time wanted them. Maybe that guy decided to take them on with their kids. Take all their issues on, you know. Like the video I did today about Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith, former NBA player, he married a woman who was a single mother. Now, he had kids from a previous marriage, but again, it was a previous marriage. But he still decided to marry this woman and was with her for 12 years. And then she decided that, you know what, it's time to go. I still look good for my age. I can go and get me a younger guy with some money. See, that's that delusion, you know. And I guess because because her child is older now. I know she got some younger kids, but Kenny can help her with those kids. Shout out to Tan, says Saul Jet Smith, XYIG, check out the signs were clear. Exactly, Tan. Look on her Instagram. You can tell that she's putting feelers out there. She's showing everybody what she got physically, showing other dudes. And what's really more disrespectful is she still got this man's last name. She's still calling herself Mrs. Smith. No respect for him. And I know that the children have probably saw signs of her disrespect towards him, but because he felt like he got him an attractive woman, he put up with it. But those kids, especially those young girls, are going to see that. And they're going to think that's what a relationship is. A woman talking down to her husband, controlling the situation, controlling the relationship, controlling the money. That's what she's gonna believe a marriage is, and that's not a marriage, man. And that's why, as a man, if you want to have the marriage and all that, you better look at her actions more than her words, because women are very good, wordsmith. They're very good at using and manipulating words. They're very good at making you believe everything that they tell you. They're very believable because a lot of these feminist-minded women have no conscience. They have no morals. They will lie to you and lie to you and lie to you without thinking twice. Because that's who they are. They've gotten through life by being liars. Now let's get to the root of this, because I'm the type of person, I like to get deep in this psychologically. You do have women though who dealt with abuse and growing up, and the best way that they've dealt with abuse by dealing with it is sexually or through manipulation, by manipulating any man they come across, by being side chicks to women's husbands, by dating men in relationships and marriages, having children with a man just to get a child support check. That stuff goes on. That abuse that they dealt with, they just learned how to be manipulative. They just learned not to trust anybody. Some of you brothers need to listen to these women's stories before you get in any type of deep relationship with them. You have to know them. Not physically down. You have to know them mentally. You have to understand where they came from. Because I'm telling you right now, women. The only time I think a lot of these type of feminist-minded women will be honest with you is if you ask them about their childhood. You ask them about their past and their parents. They're going to be extremely honest with you. You better listen to them. You better listen to them. Listen very carefully. If a female tells you that she never had a father growing up, her mother had boyfriends all the time, didn't have anybody stable, she was always, the breadwinner, always paying the bills, understand that she's going to grow up thinking that is who she's supposed to be. You have to get into people's heads, man. You got to understand them, because if you don't, you're going to get played. Just because a female looks good doesn't mean in the inside she's all fucked up. She's all fucked up. She is. When you see a female half naked walking through a public place, something mentally is wrong there. Something psychologically is wrong. See, I'm the type of person, I like to get, psychological in it. I don't look on everything at surface level. I want to know each and every detail of a person's life. As hard as it may be to know, I want to know it. I want to know what I'm dealing with. Because people are going to show you one thing, but it can be something different in a snap of a finger. We have to be honest with ourselves as men. We see the signs, but if a female looks good enough, we're willing to overlook it. We're willing to overlook her and who she is and her behaviors if she looks good. But you can look in their eyes and tell that there's a deeper story there. A woman can be smiling, but you can look at her and tell that she's not smiling. That she's putting on a face to make it seem like everything is good. But there's something different going on there. There's another person in there that she's keeping down, so you don't see who she really is. And that is why when you see these women get on YouTube and social media and talk about we're bashing them, they're so angry with men. All they want to do is be confrontational with men, but they will talk about how they have all these good men around them. They don't understand why we say the things that we're saying. They will talk about how they had a father in the home. But to be honest, he wasn't a strong father, because strong fathers raise feminine daughters. Not all the time. But if it's a balance of a father and a mother, and the father is leading that household, and that young girl in that household grows up seeing her mother listen to her father, be submissive to her father, do you think she's going to be looking for one of these lame, broke people? One of these lame, broke idiots who do nothing, can't do nothing for themselves, can't take care of themselves. They can't help nobody. So we have to look at that, man. That something psychologically is going on. Women, let me tell you something, women will take secrets to the grave. And what the Me Too movement has become is women saying, you know what, I'm no longer going to take my secrets to the grave. I'm going to speak about all of the disgusting things I've done, whether it was whether it was what I'm saying assault, or it could have been consensual, but I feel bad about what I did, sleeping with this married businessman, sleeping with this guy in his car, on the side of a building, or in a hotel room. Now they have some regrets. That's what it's become, man. That's what it's become, man. It's about fixing the regrets that you have. And that is why you have a plethora of these particular type of females getting on social media upset at the world because of the decision that they made. And unfortunately, there are a good amount of these females who did not have a strong father growing up, and you can see it. All you have to do is look in their eyes.